Welcome back to Tom's Garage again, boys and girls. Good morning. Woo-wee. Today, well, he done it again. I just fixed this thing about a year ago. Well, pow. Craftsman DYT4000 42 inch. He said, Tom, the grass was kind of tall and I hit a stump. And he said it started smoking real bad. It smelled like burnt rubber. Well, let me show you what I found. I just did this last year. You can see how I put a new belt on it. And that's a brand new spindle, less than a year old. Woo-wee. Ooh, look at that blade over there. Bent that blade there. And see right there, busted that new spindle. I just put these new blades on there last year. And since the spindle is broke, it's wedged. Right there, the blade is up against the housing and it stopped. It stopped that blade and just absolutely cooked that belt. Right there on the spindle, look at the, ew, terrible. Terrible, terrible. Look how bad that blade's bent. Ooh. Well, it'll make a good tiller. And going to give it a good annual service. Here it is, June of 25, and it's been a year. And I noticed also everything is wet right here. I believe that fuel pump might be leaking, giving up its little ghost. All right. So what we'll have to do is get this deck off, get it on the table over there, and we'll get some parts ordered and gather it up for them. We'll fix it again. Yeah, those things are designed to shear and break. That keeps it from bending the deck. Well, that's a big old heavy-duty 12-gauge deck. It'd take a miracle to bend that thing, but I've seen it. I've seen it happen. All right, let's hit pause. Let's change cameras here so I can get this deck taken off. Y'all hang with. We're gonna get it. Ooh, look at the burnt belt. All right, y'all hang with. Let's get busy. All right, first thing we'll do is get this pin taken out. Yeah. Slide that back on there just for safekeeping. Okay. We gotta get that pin taken out. We got the dirt pliers. All right. All right. Now we'll come up here and get these taken out. You don't necessarily have to pull the deck off to do this, but it makes it a whole lot easier, and it don't take me just a few minutes. Makes it easy. I can just slide it on that table right there and work on it, get it all cleaned up. Just pin the same way on the other side. Right there. Go ahead and raise this back up. Hang on. It's hung on that side over there. There, that'll pull them hangers out of the way. All right, we'll get this pin here taken out. Well, don't necessarily have to do that, because this one's got electric PTO to engage the blades. You just pull that button up and it'll engage the blades. It don't have a lever you have to pull. so this belt stays under constant pressure. You have no engaging cable. Yeah, boy, that belt is burnt. Wow. All right, it is ours. Okay. We'll slide it out and slide it over there. These hangers out of the way. Has been so bad I can't even slide the deck over. Ooh, let me grab a jack stand. Get them blades off, get that spindle off there. Ooh, he did a good job on here. Good job. Yeah, look how the spindle is just kicked over. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get the blades off. Grab me a wrench and 5/8. Oops, 9/16. Okay. So we can save. I'm going to save all the bearings and shaft and everything, because everything, I mean, like I said, it's less than a year old. Still in good shape. The bearings and shaft. Wow. That was bent right there. Burnt. That is what you call burnt. Okay. All right, let me grab like a Torx 27. We'll get this cover off. We'll get this pulley off. We'll take these bolts out. There. Screw there. And a screw there. It's on the cover. Wow. Lay that aside for now. Burnt. Ew. All right, let's pop these 3 screws out of the spindle. We'll get that pulley off. Let me grab a socket for that spindle bolt today. Grab me a hammer. That still looks pretty good. All right. Half inch. Don't lose your little spacer, otherwise that pulley right there would rub the housing. Broke it right there. Pow. We'll certainly save this because that little 5-star pattern right there, I see these smushed all the time. The way sometimes people don't realize you gotta get that on there just so perfect. They'll just kind of stick it on there and just hammer it down with an impact and just mushroom those patterns right there. See it all the time. That's a good shaft and bearings. So we'll save all that, and I'll take the wet back and dry back, wet dry back, and clean it real good. Make sure everything is lubricated. I think I took it all apart last year and put anti-seize compound on there. And the pulleys feel good. All right, y'all hang with. We'll get some parts and we'll put it back together. We're gonna give this thing a good annual service. And I did notice his dust cap is missing. I keep a box of them up there on the shelf, and I have this one sitting out here in the sunshine, getting nice and soft, getting it warmed up. Let's see if we can pop this one on there. That's what these washers are for, is to hold this cap on there. Yeah, this one's going to be awful tight. I may find one that's a little bit bigger. This one's way too small. Anyway. All right, y'all hang with, boys and girls. We're going to get some parts and we're going to put it back together and give it a good service and make the man happy. Y'all hang with. All right, while we're waiting for parts to come in, we'll go ahead and get this hood off and get this engine serviced. Like a big guillotine. What's a heavy hood? Unplug the headlight harness. Heat it up. Come on, there. Now this thing's heavy. There. Go off there. Let me lower the table a little bit. Better leverage. I gotta reach over my head to get this thing. Yeah. Get it back in the trailer. All right. I'm gonna let this thing run for just a second. I want to see if that, I want to let the engine get a little bit warm, and I want to see if that fuel pump is leaking. Because it's wet. It is certainly wet. Find somewhere to stick my flashlight. Okay. Parking brake is set. She's in neutral. Oh yeah, look at there. Yep. Yeah, you can see it. She's a leaker. You know, I broke my own rule. I didn't even check the oil in this thing before I did that. That's why I didn't let it run long. I realized as soon as I cranked it. Let's just check it and see what it looks like. I don't know how many hours he's put on it since last year, but yeah, it's pretty nasty. Yeah, that's pretty low. Okay. Dang, Dobie. All right, let's get the mighty vac oil sucker. Okay. This thing about 4 good pumps. All right, let's get the oil filter off. Grab my favorite little Powerade bottle. I watched Jeremy over at Mower Medic 1. Go check him out, because he's the one that did a video on how to make this. How to cut it and leave that little lip. Ooh, that thing's already done sucking already. Let me unset the parking brake. Get that pedal out of the way. And there goes the garbage guy, and he's going to knock the wheel off that trash can again, watch. Oh, he didn't do it this time. He gets in a hurry and takes off before he got it all the way set down, and he always knocks the wheel off of it. And I have to fix it every time. Well, I got that thing tight last time. See how that little lip just kind of holds this thing on? That's nice. Got to make you one. I didn't have it on there right, but still made a dribble. Ooh, yeah, that oil is nasty. The other thing that kind of hang out right there. Ooh. There's some nasty oil. All right, let's get this vacuum out of the way. Mighty Vac model MV7400. When I get done with that oil extractor right there, I got a little eye hook I put in that shelf right there, and it holds it, and it won't drip. All that oil will run back down to the canister. Which is pretty handy dandy way to keep it over there. Put a little oil. This is a 18.5 horse Briggs overhead valve Intek single cylinder engine. I'll see this one's got the Walbro carburetor, which is good. LMT. I might put that on there for him at one time. That's good. Okay. Let me lower the table. I'm going to see if this thing's got an hour meter. I didn't write the hours last time. Yeah, it's got 463 hours. Okay. 10. Well, that's a squiggly looking 5. All right, 5 of 20. Oh, no, it's 6 of 25. There's a lot of 5 in there. 6. Well, that's good. At least I know, and that's what it counts. Okay. Get his air filter. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. We'll give him a new air filter. Let's see, where is the air filter? This is a 698369 part number for that air filter. Make sure it goes all the way in, don't crinkle it nowhere. See, a lot of times I'll see that this little plastic housing right there sometimes gets in the way and doesn't let you snap it back in there just right. There it goes. It's got one of them little grooves. I think I remember last year I had to fight with this thing to get it to go all the way in. There we go. Just don't hurt it. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put the oil back in it. There's the 2-quart mark and there's the 1-quart mark. I'll go ahead and put a quart in it and see. Check it. It's probably going to hold a little over a quart. I see a little bit of smoke coming out of that dipstick tube. I hope his head gasket ain't hurt. Seems to run pretty good. We're just almost to the 1-quart mark. Let's check it. Check it. Uh-oh. Early morning Miley. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Just almost to the add mark. So we'll add. Just below the 1-quart mark. Okay. We're right at full, but I'm going to add more because when we crank it, it's going to fill up that oil filter and the level will drop. Y'all leave me alone, I'm trying to work. Just over full. Okay. It ought to be pretty close after we crank it. Put this back in there. Don't forget to put the dipstick back in. You crank this thing, man. And I've done it. It'll be raining oil in the shop. I got the ceiling stained in a couple places. Okay. Let's go ahead and fire it up and let that oil filter fill up. Uh-oh, good Lord. More money. All right, set the parking brake. Give it a cranky. Let that settle for just a second, and we'll go ahead and change this spark plug. Spark plug. Don't want to hurt that boot. Valve cover's nice and dry, it's not leaking. Ooh yeah, he's burning a little oil. He is burning a little oil. That's why it's low. Sure, this one's at 30,000. Close enough. He's either burning oil or he does have a blowed head gasket. I see a little bit of smoke coming out of that dipstick tube. I bet he's got a blown head gasket. I think we'll do a leak down test. Yeah. Yeah, let's do a leak down test. Let's do a leak down test. Okay. I know he loves his tractor. So if he's got a bad head gasket, we'll have to replace it. That'll be in another video though. Well, I should have made sure it's at top dead center before I've done that. I can't just grab the crankshaft pulley because it's electric PTO. Just find the piston there. That's at top dead center there. I just hope it's on the compression stroke. If it ain't, we'll have to go 360 degrees again. If it's not on the compression stroke, it'll be very obvious. Set that about 0. So evidently that's not on the compression stroke. I want to see that needle over here. So we'll go 360, do a complete revolution. All right, we're at top dead center again. This ought to be the compression stroke. That other one was top dead center on the exhaust stroke. Wow, that's still a lot of leakage. Wow. Now let's find out where it's coming from. Let me cut that fan off. It'll either be coming, oh, I see it. I see it smoking. it's a fine time for you to come on there, Mr. Compressor. I see a little smoke right in here somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from. Is it coming out of that seal? It's either coming out of the air filter or it's either coming out of the crankcase. I think I hear it coming out of the carburetor intake. I can feel it. Let's see if it's coming out of the intake. No, it's not coming out of the intake. Where was that smoke coming from? Let's do this. Blowed head gasket. Grr. That's what it is. Oh well. That's what it is. Well, shoot. And it's got a pretty good leak. Let me hit pause, let me make a phone call, I'll be right back. Oh, we'll replace that head gasket, but that'll be a different video. We'll go ahead and finish servicing it for now. That leak down tester, I know somebody's gonna ask me. I got this on Amazon. Part number ABN2305. Auto body now, cylinder leak detector. You can get all kinds of them on Amazon. Comes with different adapters. It even comes with instructions too, so that's good. You can learn yourself how to do it. All right, I'll keep it up here with the other stuff. Okay, so let me do a compression test real quick. Grab my trusty old favorite one here. And let's go ahead and check this oil. Get that done. All right, we are right on full, so that's good. Let's do a quickie little comprehension test. Comprehension test. When I pull the head off, I'll go ahead and do a valve job too. Lap the valves in. All right, let's crank it over a few times. Yeah, it's got over 100 pounds. That's good. That was pretty good. Go ahead and slap this plug in it. Drop it. It could be the rings too. I mean, it could. Well, no, that compression test told me the rings are pretty good. Valves are seating good. That leak detector will tell you if you got a bad valve. If you know it's on top dead center on the compression stroke and you do the leak down and it's just blowing out of the carburetor, you know it's got a bad seal on the intake, or if it's blowing out of the muffler, you know it's got a bad seal on the exhaust valve. Did I say that right? I see he's missing a screw right there. Let's see if I can find him one. All right, let's get this fuel pump changed and his new fuel filter. Put a little light on it. Alrighty. Ow. Snap back a bit. All right. One of these days I'll make it. I'm gonna shoot for the trash can. Nope. Missed again. Let me hit pause. I got a customer pulling in there. All right. Use my favorite Kohler air fuel filter. Let's see. Yeah, this thing here. Where's my fuel pump? There it is. On these fuel pumps, make sure you always pull these things off. And the one with the little P, little letter P stamped on it, you know, that's a pulse line. That's where the vacuum. And this one gets its vacuum. I'll show you. They usually get it from the valve cover, but this one gets it from the dipstick tube. Right there. That's where it pulls vacuum from. Okay. Oh, my shoulder's hurting so bad I can't move it. Oh. Right. A lot of times they'll have arrows on it. The longer screw goes in the bottom. Shorter screw goes on the top. All right. Found the little arrow. I use my dirty fingers to find the arrow. There it is. Rub a little dirt on it and it'll show up. Oh. Squirt a little WD on it and it'll squeeze on there easier. I'm gonna make sure it goes all the way on. Okay, let's see, let's get this pulse line pressed back on. Yeah. I didn't squirt Baby D on that because that fuel line was wet anyway. All right. Okay. I'm gonna put a little zip tie on that right there. I don't want this thing to just be doing that the whole time it's cutting grass. I'll hold it a little more stable. Okay, new spark plug, oil and oil filter, air filter, fuel filter. All right. Take it out there, give it a good cleaning. All right. The best way to tell if it's got a blown head gasket is to turn it off and pop this. Look at the smoke coming out of it. Yep. That's why the oil's low and the spark plug was black. I'm gonna make this a part 1 and 2 and 3 video. This could be part 1. Removing the deck, figuring out the parts we need, and servicing the engine. I'm going to go ahead and grease the front end, check his air pressure. Part 2 will be putting the deck back together with all new parts and getting it back on, and then part 3 will be a head gasket. Hi boys and girls, thanks for watching another thumbnail video. Y'all be good, holler if you need me, eat your vitamins, take your vegetables, and tell somebody you love them, because I love you. Y'all be good.